I keep doing this to myself. I keep doing drawing challenges when I swear and promise I'm never going to do them again. I actually think this time is different though, and this one comes with a sense of healing, and I'll explain that a little bit later. Sounds weird, but I'll explain. But yeah, anyway, just join me in this session of drawing a lot of dogs. So if you don't know what the Doggust drawing challenge is, it's basically another one of those monthly drawing challenges where there's a prompt list. And in this case, it is a prompt list of lots of different breeds of dogs. And you can also, there is another prompt list where you were given a word, related to dogs, like, sit or bone or whatever. But yeah, I chose to do the list with the actual different dog breeds. Now, I wasn't actually aware of this challenge until maybe early this year, and I think this has been going on for maybe 5 or 6 years, maybe? Let me just check. Yeah, okay, so it started in 2019, so 6 years ago, and I'm not entirely sure what rock I was living under that I've only just discovered it, but it's definitely presented itself at the right time for me, and also just for me to just get out of my comfort zone a little bit and start drawing animals again, because I've just been so focused on drawing portraits and stuff like that, and which I love, obviously. I always enjoy drawing that, but you kind of get into this comfort zone headspace. And while it's comforting, obviously, and it makes me feel good, you do have to step outside of it every now and again just to challenge yourself. Anyway, let me explain why I decided that I needed to do this challenge. So, and it's a difficult subject, and if you're a pet owner, you'll probably understand the things I'm going to say and how difficult it is. And if you've recently lost a pet and maybe, I don't know, it's triggering for you, maybe don't listen, or maybe it's healing for you. I don't know. I'm just gonna tell you what happened. So, our family pet. So when I say our family pet, it's my parents' dog, who lives obviously at my parents' house, and I've moved out, so I don't live there anymore, but he's still my pet in my heart. That's how I see him. And his name was Bane, and he was an Alaskan Malamute, so a very, very large dog. Like, he must have weighed probably maybe 50 kgs. It's hard to tell. He was just so massive, you couldn't even pick him up. And Bane was 12 years old. So, you find with older dogs who are of a certain size, so big dogs like Bane, they don't stick around for as long as the smaller dogs do. And he was getting to that age where his hips were starting to obviously weaken, which is very, very common in the larger dogs. And so my parents had noticed that he was starting to struggle with little things like kind of standing up as quick as he used to, not walking as far as he used to, little things like that just kind of show you that the old age is really setting in. Anyway, his conditions started to get a bit worse, and you have to come to a decision when your dog is in pain and is obviously no longer having a good quality of life, that you make that decision where it's time for you to say goodbye. I think most of us can accept at some point in our lives when we have pets, we expect to say goodbye to them. It's just the circle of life. It happens. It's difficult, but we know it's inevitable. So about a month ago, it's about a month now actually, one morning, Bane just wasn't able to stand up, and he was in a lot of pain. When a dog is in pain, they kind of cry. He'd already been checked by the vet a few days before that, just for, inflammation of the hips and stuff, and he was given medication, but this was really different. And on the advice of the vet, we were told, this is probably the time now. The only problem was because Bane is so big, so heavy, he couldn't walk, we couldn't pick him up, we couldn't get him into the car, that we had to get the vet to come to us. And I am not going to go into the details of what happened because it's actually too upsetting. But the vet did not put Bane to sleep the correct way. So what happened then was our dog had to endure fear for about half an hour, and we had to witness that. And eventually when he did pass, it was probably the most traumatic thing I've ever experienced in my life. And I just realized this, oh my God, this video, I'm so sorry. I didn't actually mean for this to be such like a devastating video. It just so happened that this links to what I'm drawing, and I just felt like I needed to explain it because I know so many people, have to lose a pet at some stage, and a lot of people probably understand, and hopefully no one's had to go through what we have gone through. But I think it really explains my mentality at this time, because this, like I said, this happened a month ago. And for some reason in my head, I thought, for me to really process this, I'm going to draw a lot of dogs. Make it make sense. Now, obviously, it didn't start with Doggust because that only, started at the beginning of this month. So what I did was I drew an entire page of different dog breeds, and I actually made that my Patreon print for last month or this month. My brain's not quite functioning now. Yeah, it's for this month. I'm sorry. It's for this month. And I felt really, I don't know if it was a way for me to kind of process what happened by drawing all these dogs, or if it was kind of like an escape. I don't really know. That's the weird thing about art and creativity and how our brain processes things. I just felt like I really needed to draw them. Like, you just know when something's right. And so I started drawing all of these dogs, and it felt really good. And I'm honestly not sure whether or not it has helped me process what has happened with Bane. I think, to be honest, I've been so busy and I've kept myself so busy that maybe I haven't really processed it yet. It's one of those things that only time will really tell whether or not that's worked. But I'm enjoying it, and I think that is the most important thing, because I don't want to end up focusing on this so much that I end up giving up art. So if this is getting me to draw, then it's a thumbs up. And then, of course, Doggust rolled around, and it just seemed natural and made sense for me to just continue drawing dogs. And that's the point we are at now. So, so if you're not fully familiar with the whole Doggust challenge, you can check out the Instagram page Dogs in August, and you'll be able to see all the prompt lists, and you'll probably be able to see actually all of their past prompt lists. And depending on how I'm feeling when this challenge ends, I might even just go back and draw all the other dog breeds that they've listed. Oh my God. But, I haven't just decided to draw in my sketchbook as you see me doing here. I've gone one step further, and I've also been drawing them digitally as well. So I'm doing 2 sets of the same breed of dog in different mediums. Yeah, I know I'm laughing sitting here when I'm talking about this. Like, to me, it sounds really crazy. But I have not been as productive in my art in I don't know how long. And I don't mean just with drawing dogs, I'm doing my sketchbook and then I'm drawing them digitally. But even yesterday, I did my Doggust pictures, so my sketchbook and my digital picture. And then I sat down and I did 2 alcohol marker spreads as well. I don't know what's happened. I think this challenge has triggered some sort of creativity that, not that I was missing before, but it's just this want, this absolute need and urge to draw that I haven't had in maybe 10 years. Don't get me wrong, I always want to draw. Well, I don't always want to draw, that's a lie. There's days you really don't want to draw, and I have found ways to make excuses to not draw. I'd start playing a new game, and has anyone played Fantasy Life I, by the way? That took up 150 hours of my time, and I did barely any drawing. But yeah, I'm totally going off on a tangent here. I feel like something has really kind of clicked with me in the past 2 to 3 weeks, where drawing almost seems easy. And I don't mean in the way that, oh God, everything I'm doing is just like, it's so good, it's just so easy. No, I mean the mental aspect of it is so easy. Like, I cannot wait to come sit at my desk and start drawing for the day. I'm more organized. I'm not mindlessly scrolling in between trying to draw. It's just all happening. It's just like click, click, click. Like, it's just go, go, go. And I am loving it so much, and I'm clinging on to this desperately, hoping that this feeling stays, because if you're an artist, this can be fleeting. This moment, it may not last, and when you get a moment like this, no matter how long it goes on for, you go with it. Like, you completely roll with it for as long as you can keep going. You take it. I know I said before, and I'm not sure if I said it in one of these videos, or maybe I've said it in a post or something along the way, that I think drawing challenges are not healthy. And I think it was wrong of me to say that, because obviously I don't have the right to say what is healthy or unhealthy for anyone. And now that I am doing this challenge, I've realized it really depends on if you fit the challenge and if you are approaching it in a healthy way. So for example, Inktober, that is not a healthy challenge for me, and I just cannot place why specifically. I have attempted it a few times, and I think I've completed it maybe twice, but every time that I've failed it, I have really felt like a failure of an artist. So I think it's like a knee-jerk reaction. It's like, oh, I failed this challenge. It's not healthy for me. It's not healthy for anyone. But to be fair, I do read about people who feel really stressed doing these monthly challenges. And it's understandable. When you have to draw something every single day, and especially when you're following a prompt, it really kind of tightens the scope of your creativity in a sense if you let it. But now that I am in the middle of the Doggust challenge, I realize that it can also be a healing experience. I guess at the end of the day, you just have to figure out which challenges are right for you. So far, I'm doing really well. As of recording this, I've actually completed the second week of Doggust. And I had to actually edit this video. I had 5 hours of footage for the first 7 spreads, and I've edited it down to maybe, 14-15 minutes. It was so difficult. There was so much that I wanted to include in this video. But if you do want to see the entire process of every single one of these pages, I have it on my Patreon. It's only €5 for the month, and you get access to absolutely everything that I have on there, past, present, future. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me draw. Probably haven't enjoyed listening to what I had to talk about, which I apologize for. But if you have pets, give them some extra hugs and kisses today. And I'll see you in my next video.